Imagine turning on the news and seeing two llamas running wild through suburban streets, dodging cops and outmaneuvering trained professionals for hours. Well, buckle up because this actually happened in Arizona, and it became one of the weirdest viral moments in internet history. We are talking about helicopters, lassos, and over 200,000 tweets all about two furry fugitives who just wanted freedom. This is the story of the Great Arizona Llama Drama, and trust me, you cannot make this stuff up. February 26, 2015, started like any other day in Sun City, Arizona, a quiet retirement community west of Phoenix, where the most exciting thing that usually happens is bingo night. But on this particular Thursday, things were about to get absolutely wild. Karen Freund and Bub Bullis, two retired Phoenix police officers who had traded their badges for a llama farm, were bringing three therapy llamas to an assisted living facility. The llamas were Kahkneeta, a tall white female, Laney, a younger black llama, and Alejandro, a friendly male who would prove to be the only well-behaved one of the bunch. For over an hour, everything went perfectly. The elderly residents were delighted, petting the gentle animals and walking them through the halls. These llamas were supposed to bring joy and comfort to the seniors. Little did anyone know Kahkneeta and Laney had other plans. Around 11 a.m., the handlers took them outside for what should have been a simple bathroom break. That is when disaster struck. Someone arrived late and wanted to see the llamas. In the commotion, something spooked Kahkneeta. Maybe it was a bag, maybe it was just her rebellious spirit, but whatever it was, she decided she was done with the therapy session. When a llama wants to run, there is no stopping it. Kahkneeta took off like a rocket, and Laney thought, hey, that looks fun, and bolted right after her. The handlers, including the owners who used to chase criminals for a living, suddenly found themselves in the chase of their lives. But here's where it gets even weirder. The retirement home chef, desperate to help, did what any reasonable person would do. He Googled what llamas like to eat, grabbed some romaine lettuce, and started waving it around trying to lure them back. Spoiler alert, the lettuce did not work. These llamas were not interested in salad. They wanted adventure, and they were about to get it. By noon, the situation had escalated to full-blown police operation. Karen Freund called 911, and the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office got involved. Deputies arrived ready for a quick animal retrieval. They were so wrong. Kahkneeta and Laney had transformed into escape artists, weaving through parking lots, darting between cars, and causing traffic delays. Every move was calculated. These were not panicked animals. They were having the time of their lives. Kahkneeta was clearly the ringleader. She would run ahead with confidence, pause to make sure Laney was following, then keep going. Laney, being younger, just followed her mentor into chaos. Residents in golf carts tried to help. Local volunteers joined the chase. Every time someone got close, the llamas would juke left, spin right, and leave everyone in the dust. It was like watching a live-action cartoon. What sent this from local news to international phenomenon was the arrival of news helicopters. Multiple stations scrambled their choppers for aerial footage, and suddenly millions worldwide were watching in real time. The footage was incredible. Kahkneeta running with confidence, her white fur glowing in the Arizona sun. Behind her was Laney, keeping pace like a loyal sidekick. Together, they were unstoppable. Within minutes, Twitter exploded. The hashtag Llama Drama started trending worldwide. Llamas on the Loose racked up over 220,000 tweets in hours. News anchors struggled to keep straight faces. Even politicians and sports teams got in on the action. The Arizona Cardinals tweeted they had signed both llamas to contracts for 2,040 pounds of hay each. Senator John McCain chimed in. NFL reporters gave play-by-play as if it were the Super Bowl. The entire world stopped to watch two llamas run wild in a retirement community. As the chase stretched into its second hour, it became clear that normal methods were not going to work. The sheriff's deputies had tried everything. They attempted to corner the llamas in parking lots. They tried to use vehicles to block them in. They even brought in animal control experts who supposedly knew how to handle these situations. Nothing worked. These llamas were operating on a level of intelligence that nobody had anticipated. Kahkneeta, in particular, seemed to enjoy the game. Every time someone got close with a rope, she would dodge at the last second, almost as if she were toying with them. Laney just followed along, probably wondering what they had gotten into, but too committed to turn back now. Meanwhile, Karen Freund and Bub Bullis were absolutely losing their minds. Remember, these are retired cops who had chased down actual criminals during their careers. Armed suspects, dangerous situations, high-speed pursuits. But chasing llamas? That was a whole different level of difficulty. Freund later admitted she wanted to get back into running for exercise, but this was definitely not how she planned to do it. The stress was unreal. Their llamas were on live television, making international headlines, and there was nothing they could do to stop it. They were running after the animals, calling their names, trying every trick they knew from years of handling llamas, but Kahkneeta and Laney were not having it. Then, like something straight out of a Wild West movie, a hero emerged from nowhere. A local landscaper, whose name was never officially released, showed up with a lasso and serious skills. While everyone else had been fumbling around trying to corner the llamas using teamwork and tactics, he calmly approached the situation like a seasoned cowboy who had done this 1,000 times before. News crews later tried to track him down for interviews, but he refused to talk to anyone. Some speculated he might have been undocumented or had outstanding warrants, but honestly, nobody cared about any of that. This man was an absolute legend. In a matter of minutes, he managed to lasso first one llama, then the other, bringing the entire 2-hour ordeal to an end. The crowd erupted in cheers. The deputies breathed a massive sigh of relief, and the internet went absolutely wild, celebrating the unnamed cowboy hero who had saved the day. The llamas were finally captured and loaded back into their trailer, probably exhausted but definitely satisfied with their grand adventure. The retirement community, which had just wanted a nice calm therapy session for their residents, had instead hosted one of the most viral events in internet history, and the world had just witnessed something truly special. Once the dust settled, Karen Freund and Bub Bullis went from anonymous llama owners to international celebrities overnight. Limousines showed up at 3 a.m. for morning show interviews. Every major news outlet wanted to talk to them. Camera crews camped in their backyard. The attention was relentless. Freund joked she took an online quiz to see if she was more like the black or white llama. She got the black llama. But fame came with complications. The U.S. Department of Agriculture contacted them about licensing requirements. Apparently, showcasing animals in public, even for therapy, required special permits they did not have. The USDA said if they continued bringing llamas to events or allowed photos, they would need expensive licenses and face fines. This was devastating because the couple loved bringing joy through their llamas. Faced with bureaucratic red tape and frustrated by lack of clear communication, Freund and Bullis made a difficult decision. They would stop doing public appearances. The viral fame that brought laughter to millions had ended their ability to share their animals with the community. They eventually moved about 100 miles north to Chino Valley with their 9 llamas, living more privately. The psychological impact on the llamas was interesting. Laney seemed fine, going back to normal, but Kahkneeta was forever changed. According to Freund, the white llama became more defiant and harder to handle. She had tasted freedom, outsmarted dozens of people, and become an international star. Kahkneeta knew she was special now. Freund worried the llama might have post-traumatic stress, or maybe she was just too smart for her own good. The Great Llama Drama of 2015 was more than just funny news. It became a cultural moment that captured the absurd power of social media and live coverage. In an era when news is dominated by serious stories, 2 llamas running through a retirement community gave the world permission to laugh together. People from every country stopped what they were doing to watch and tweet about llamas. It was pure joy, and it showed how hungry people are for lighthearted chaos that does not involve tragedy. The incident sparked conversations about therapy animals and regulations. Many were upset that Freund and Bullis were shut down by the USDA after bringing happiness to communities. Therapy animals play an important role in mental health and elderly care. A viral moment leading to stricter enforcement seemed counterproductive. However, the USDA argued that safety and animal welfare standards needed to be maintained. It was complicated with no easy answers. Sadly, there is a tragic footnote. 3 years after the chase in 2017, Laney passed away from valley fever, a fungal infection common in Arizona. Freund and Bullis were heartbroken. The little black llama who had followed Kahkneeta into internet infamy was gone. Kahkneeta, now alone, became even more withdrawn. The llama who brought joy to so many seemed to carry the weight of her fame and loss. But despite the sad ending, the legacy lives on. 10 years later, people still talk about it. News stations replay the footage every anniversary. The hashtags still pop up whenever llamas make news. It has become Arizona folklore, a story locals tell with pride and outsiders hear with disbelief. In a state known for beautiful deserts and iconic cactuses, two therapy llamas managed to put Sun City on the map. Kahkneeta and Laney prove that sometimes the weirdest crimes are not crimes at all. They are just two animals who decided they had had enough of behaving. And what happened was magic, chaos, and laughter that the world desperately needed. So here is to the fugitive llamas who became legends and reminded us all that the best news stories sometimes make no sense, but bring us all together anyway. Image generations.